In JavaScript, the this keyword refers to the object it belongs to, but you have many use cases of the this keyword. In a method, it refers to the object that contains that method. Used alone or in a function, it refers to the global object. And used in an event, it refers to the element that the event is attached to. So let's quickly see that in practice. And so right here, all we're going to do is to start by saying constant, let's say object or person, okay? And this is an object that will hold a name, okay? And here we're going to say name is John, maybe. And next, we're going to put the age. Age maybe is 29, okay? And we add sex like this, all right? We consider that is a person, okay? So now we would like to add a method, okay? And the method is going to be maybe display name, and this method, and basically a method is a function, right? But now we call it method because it's a function inside of an object. And here I'm going to say function, and this is an anonymous function, and I'll say all these the purpose of this function is just logging the name to the console, okay? Or maybe let's start simple and say this. And remember I said that this keyword inside of an object refers to that object. So here if you try to console log this, we are going to get the whole object, all right? So here, after constructing the object, all I'm going to do is to log to the console the output of that method, right? So I'm going to say person dot display name, and I have to call that because it's a function, okay? So after doing that, all I'm going to do is going back to my browser, and here I'm going to refresh, and okay, you see, you get from line 6 where I logged this, you get the whole object, right? And don't mind this undefined, but right here we get something interesting, and that is our object, okay? So if I go back to my Visual Studio and I try to log, okay, I try to display the name right now because that's the method we have defined, and I'll say this dot name, okay? Because remember that this refers to the object. Now I would like to extract that property of name, okay? So now if I go back to my browser, I should be able to see something like something like John, okay? If I refresh here, you see John is right here, output to the console. But we have a little strange behavior. Here. If you try to use the arrow function, and let me show you. If you try to use the arrow function right here, and you say this, now with the arrow function, this keyword doesn't refer to the object, but it refers to the actual window, to the whole window. And that is something you have to be aware of so that you don't get confused at some point. So if you give this a try and check at the output, you see here there is something logged to the console, and that is the window, okay? So if you are using this keyword inside of an object, you have to use the function, the traditional way of declaring a function, and that is using the function keyword, and not the arrow function. If you use the arrow function, you are going to refer to the entire window. And now the second use case of this keyword is used, let me just say function display name again. And now this is not a method, it's a normal function, okay? And function display name. And all I'm going to do here, I'll say console log. Give this a try. I say console.log this, okay? Now, I just called it display name because that I mean, I wanted to call it like that, but you can call it however you want. But all I want to show you is when you use, and normally this keyword inside of a function, you may think that it's going to output or to return the function, but actually it refers to the window. So when you console log the this keyword inside of a function, you are going to get back the whole window. So if I try to do that and I go back to my browser, I refresh right here, you still see window output there. Okay, instead of seeing, instead of seeing the function or seeing an object as the way you used it in an object, now we see the whole window. And that's the second use case of the this keyword. And you have to be aware that when you use that inside of a function, the output is the window and not the object or not the function. All right, so another use case is when you have an event, right? Using that in an event. And here, after selecting that button, I'm going to add an event listener to that button, and that is going to be the click event. So here, all I'm going to do is declare an anonymous function that will be responsible for outputting something using the this keyword. And as I said, when you are using that inside of an event listener, when you use the this keyword refers to the button that holds that event. That means in this case, this keyword will refer to this button. Okay, so if I log that to the console, the this keyword, I'm expecting to see that button. So if we give this a try, we expect to see button in our console. So let me try to do that, and I refresh. Okay, I refresh, and when I click on this button, check the console, you get the whole button, because remember I said that this keyword refers to the element that holds the event, and in this case it's this button that we define in our HTML. So if I go back to my studio code and I show you in my HTML, you see the same button is right here. And basically, those are the use cases of this keyword in different scenarios. So guys, that's all for this video. Hope you see all the use cases of the this keyword in JavaScript and you won't get confused. So if you want to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe and share my video so that it gets spreaded to all the developers or all the new guys around the world. And once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.